Okay. I am live now. Okay, so we are going to go ahead, and this is the trivia game that I created. Instead of a README, I like to just explain it in a video. It reduces the amount of typing, I know, and it just shows that I rather talk instead of write. So, so I'm going to go ahead and show you the trivia. This is from the book called Starting Out with Python, and just a demonstration of the program of a trivia game. So I'm just going to show what I did and kind of like the scenario of what is going on. So so this is a demonstration of a dictionary. I created a class of question because we'll be creating a dictionary of questions. You can see here that one of the questions here is going to be a dictionary, and it's going to be a dictionary inside a dictionary, and it's going to be a list inside a dictionary within a dictionary. So it's just a lot of nesting in. It just makes it easier just to keep everything into one in one location. And so this is what is an English translation, and then I put in the question, I put in the correct answer, and then I put the possible answers here. So I created 20 of them just to, I did not want to create a billion of them. So 20 will make enough for two players to be asked 10 questions each. And then we have here um, the self dictionary. This is oh, I created a constructor. Excuse me, my mind went blank. So created a self with no arguments inside, and so then it could just take this dictionary inside, and it could just make that variable, and then we could get dictionary. We're not going to set any dictionaries or set any new dictionary uh, because we don't need to. And so we're going to go ahead and create the player as well. So the player class, we're going to have the player name, and it's going to have points. It's going to keep track of all the points with who's going to be winning. So and then we'll go through the trivia game. The trivia game here is going to have, and I should probably condense it down to a more functions or more methods inside this class, but this is the trivia class, and it's going to have the two players. So once we create two objects, two player objects, we'll put it here, and then we'll create the object of question, which is going to be pretty much all the questions. We're going to put it inside here, and then we're going to go ahead and ask the question of, so it's going to get the list of questions. It's going to get the dictionary, right? And it's going to ask the question. So we're going to print the player titles, and it's going to ask you, so it's going to display the title, and over here we created the object, we put in the objects of player, and we'll see through the whole main class here, or main program, how everything's run, but it's going to display we're going to get the player name, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to go through the dictionary and go through the items, and then want to display the title, which we want to capitalize the player's name, and then count equals 1, and let's go ahead and we're going to print out the key, which is going to be the question, and then it's going to list of answers. So it's going to, right here, we want to make it into a list, uh, because it's going to be within the dictionary. So we have to create it into a list, and then we want to go ahead and display all the possible answers. And then if they get the right answer, we can go ahead and count plus equals 1. And I'm trying to remember why I did that. I think it's because, oh, you know what? It's because I wanted to create a random choice um, when I'm going through these random numbers. And so I know I was not able to that was one of like my goals on creating this program, but I never got to it, unfortunately. And then so pretty much goes here, and it says, uh, please choose one of the following after the list of the possible questions, and then it's going to be and then I put a try except value error, so this makes sure that hey, you know what, you better be putting in the right entry. And then also we put a parameter here, so it needs to be a number that's not greater than player choice, which is going to be not greater than 4 or less than 1, because we only have 4 options. And so, and if it does happen, we want to go ahead and display invalid entry, and it's going to back to this while loop. And if once it meets the criteria of player choice, which is going to be an int, it's going to go ahead and break out of that loop. As you can see, there's no continue, it just breaks, and then it goes ahead and the list of answers, and then this is the player choice -1. Oh, you know what I think is the count. So the count, it actually displays the um, the number, and it displays the question. That's what I remember now. All right, and then go ahead and we go and verify if it's correct or not. So we get the player choice, and if it equals the correct answer, then that's when we go ahead and say correct, and then that's when if the player, as you can see here, if it's the player get name, if the player name is equal to the name, then we add a point, which we saw here. Um, Plus equals point. So that will be the argument that we'll be passing into add point. And lastly, so it's going to, oh, excuse me there. And then we're going to go ahead and it's going to go through here. And then it also switches players. So if the player equals get name, then we're going to go ahead and switch it to the second player. And then else is going to switch into the first player. And then player choice, and it's going to put in the uh, um, what the player chose as the option, and then it's going to display the correct answer. And then it's going to, in the end, it's going to display the winner. If so first it's going to display the points and the name of each player, and then it's going to go ahead and check to see if it's a draw or if player 1 won or player 2 won. So let's go ahead and run this program. So again, we went ahead and from player, so which is the program here, we imported player, which is the class, and we did the same thing with question and trivia. We went ahead and created the object, so we're going to do an input of the player name, and we're pretty much going to be putting in the name as we saw here. That is the only argument that we're going to be entering into the player class. And so we're going to create two objects, which is going to be player 1 and player 2. So we're going to create two instances here. And then we're going to create an instance here. We're going to create a question object here. And we should probably put the objects here together. Whoops. What did I do? Come on, PyCharm. What did I do? What did I do, PyCharm? Clear the bookmark. All right. I didn't know to bookmark it. All right. So, what is this? What is this? All right. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and run the program. Again, this is a trivia game. We're going to pass in the three objects here. This is going to be player. So the two objects here in the question. And we'll be putting in player 1, player 2 in the question object. And then we'll ask the question, which is going to be pretty much the game. And then we'll display the winner. Let's go ahead and run this program. If I didn't break it. Okay, so as you can see here, we're going to go ahead and expand this portion here. And we're going to put in, let's say Donald Duck, right? I don't know. And then Mickey Mouse. So they're feeling very competitive. So it's going to display the player 1 name. What is the English translation for Latin expression? De mortis. I know mortis is death, so I don't want any one. And then it says correct. Player choice is about the dead, and then the correct answer is this. So it displays the correct answer, and then it displays the player choice and the answer. A lot of exams show this, like in Quizlet, so that's why I kind of got the idea from there. So now it's Mickey Mouse's turn. So what kind of animal is missing from the common phrase, a blank is the hand worth 2 bushels? So let's go ahead and we know that turkey's probably not one of them. So turkey is going to be incorrect. Player choice is turkey. The correct answer is bird. So Donald Duck's turn. So it's going to go ahead and we're going to just go ahead and put random choice. Let's go ahead and put some random invalid entry. So that's where it does the validation portion to make sure that we're not putting in some bogus stuff in there. And let's go and put some random number. Nope, that's an invalid entry. How about 0? Nope, invalid. How about 5? How about 4.1? Nope, it's going to need to be an integer, and it has to be between 1 and 4. So we're going to go ahead and go put 4, 2, 3, and we're going to put some random choices. So then we're going to go ahead and display the winners after asking 20 questions from these two hardcore competitors. So 2, 2, 2, and all right, in the end, so the answer, so this is the end. So that it displays the total answers, or total questions from total correct answers from each player. And so it's going to go ahead and say Donald Duck 4 points, Mickey Mouse 1 point, and I should probably go ahead and do an if statement. I just didn't get to it, but it says Donald Duck wins. And so that's pretty much the program for the trivia game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A clear explanation of how I created these, and it's really a create. So the way I approached it was creating the object, pretty much spaghetti code. So it's created the whole thing, and then I started dissecting it and refactoring it properly and kind of figuring out what needs to be in its own different domain. So we know that trivia is a game, so that trivia would probably be under an abstract class because game could definitely be something very vague. And then we could probably inherit a lot of things from that game using trivia, or trivia can inherit a lot of the game class. And then the player could be, I don't know, because the player could also be a competitor. I'm not sure. See, a player could probably be um, human. No, because we know that computer can be a player as well. Um, maybe player can be abstract. Maybe. And then we could say human player, computer player, and we could inherit those. And then the question could definitely be, I think it's good as far as I know, unless I'm missing something. But that was my program. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. A clear explanation on it. I'm not gonna be redundant here. Thank you for your time and for viewing this. Take care of yourself.